As we go, he starts to feel when I turn and I look, and it'll get to where I could have him kind of look to the right, look to the left, look over to the right further. I have a good imagination, so I pretend there's a little cow. I have cattle too, so I pretend that like there's a cow turning to the left. So I'm just gonna track that cow over there. So I start to see, can I get him to where I could ride his left ear back? Could I ride both of his ears back? Yeah. Could I ride both of his ears forward? I find something interesting, that really nice harness horse up there. So I see, yep, bingo. We ride the ears, because when you ride the ears, you're riding his attention. The open face of the ear points to where the eye is looking. Now I could wiggle my inside leg to say to him, can you look to the right? See, right ear back. I could wiggle my left leg and I could say, could we get you to look to the left? It'd be no different than if somebody walked up from behind you and they tapped on your right shoulder and you said, oh, hi. So the inside leg is to bend the horse and sometimes go forward. But oftentimes when I want to make a turn, what I'll do is I'll wiggle my left leg, and then once he looks, I ride the outside of my body around the turn. So now my right thigh comes in, my headlight comes in. So if I go to the right, what I might do is wiggle my right leg, get his right ear to come back, and then we round off the turn. And now I start to apply my outside aids. The inside rein is good at bending. The outside rein is good at turning. The outside rein is good at turning. Same with legs. What we do with our hands, we often do with our legs at the same time. So when I turn, my inside leg bends. My outside leg, mainly my thigh, comes around and says, now round off that turn. So look to the right, okay, turn to the right. I want you to notice something interesting about his head. It goes up and down, doesn't it? I call that head bobbing, head nodding. At the walk, their head doesn't just bob up and down. It doesn't. It bobs side to side as well. What'll happen is they'll walk along and their head will go down left, up, down right, up, down left, up, down right, and that's what it does. Now, that's when they're going straight. Their head will bob down left, up, down, right. And as you ride trails, you'll go, oh yeah, my horse does that. In a turn, it only bobs down to one side. So as I turn left, his head only bobs down left. If his head bobs right at all, he's off my turn. His mind's off the turn. So I start to feel that down bob. Something that's really cool. Their muzzle points to when you should make the turn with your outside rein. So when his head bobs down right, his outside foreleg can come around the turn. We're going to get going with a little energy. There we go. I want to get that walk going. So as we walk, his head bobs down right. Well, that's when his outside shoulder can come around. That's so cool. The horses tell us if we know what they're saying, if we can read what they're saying. As his head bobs down left, I can bring his right shoulder around the turn. It's so cool. The horses, they tell you. They tell you when they're ready to do that kind of thing. So when we're riding them, their rib cage also swings. And this is kind of cool because their head bobs up and down and to the side. Their ribs swing as a counterbalance. And so you'll notice the reins swing with the neck. The reins swing with the neck. My leg swings with the barrel. Now I'm going to exaggerate this, so don't criticize me for being a nag. But my legs swing. See, so the reins swing with the neck and my legs swing with the ribs. So what I do is I think about expanding a swing. So if I want a leg yield, I just swing the barrel a little more to the left. Now if I want to go straight, like a bell, equal, the ribs. If I want a leg yield to my right, as the ribs start to swing to the right, I just expand it, and I'm exaggerating my legs. I expand the swing, and I swing and I give, and I swing and I give. Now I'm going to ride the outside shoulder around. So as his head bobs down, I know my timing to bring his outside foot around the turn. It's so cool when you know what the ribs do. And when you can feel those ribs, pretty soon I can say, let's leg yield to the left. Let's swing the ribs to the right. Swing the ribs left. Swing the ribs right. Now let's break it down to just hindquarters. Step on your right hind, good. Step on your left hind. Step on your right hind. Step on your left hind. Step on your right hind. Step on your left hind. Could do the same thing with the shoulder. Step on your right front. Good. Walk on. Step on your left front. Coming over there. Step on. Walk on. Stand on your right. Stand on your left. Slow. Ready? Stand on your right. Stand on your left. Stand on your right. Good. Take it to the left. Good. Hindquarters. Swing your hind to the left. Good. I'm bringing my outside leg back. My left leg's coming back. Swing your hind to the right. If I can step his hindquarters to my left, I power up his outside hind leg. So it's easy to strike off a canter. If I bring my outside leg back and I get him swinging his hindquarters to the right, I'm powering up his left hind leg. So it's easy to strike a right lead. Right lead, walking. Hindquarters left, left lead. And then the hindquarters are already left, so it's not too hard to have him come around on it. Hindquarters, there we go. I missed it there, but I was going to say hindquarters to the right. One more time. Come into the walk. Get it in the walk. Hindquarters to the left, good. Hindquarters to the right. Strike off on your right lead. Walking. Hindquarters to the left. Powering up the left hind leg. Here we go. Striking it off. Good. Hindquarters to the right. See that? Lateral motion, the leg yield, crossing the hind legs, all of that sets them up for the leads, and the lead changes. All of your lateral work that you did moving the hindquarters, this is setting them up for a right lead. It's so important you get this. If I can move his hindquarters to the left, so he's crossing under that right hind leg as the power leg, I'm setting it up for a left lead. So I want to really remind you that the hind end, the hind quarter movements, the lateral work that we do in the hind, it's not just for control. Like we think in the beginning, you got to disengage the rear because that gets control. No, that's the balance, that's the engine back there. So if I can affect the hindquarters, I can affect the engine. And so you have to think about, if we want to get our horses to ride collected, later on collected meaning they're sitting back, we have to first get them to coil. And how we get a horse to coil, it's seldom riding in a straight line. If you ride straight and you think you're going to pull back and squeeze them with your leg to coil, that's not going to work too good. But to get your horse to coil, try this. Transitions. So I sit up, I trot, we walk. We trot, and we walk. And we trot, and we halt. And we canter a left lead. I'm getting there. Yep. And we walk. And we get a right lead. See? You do frequent transitions, your horse coils. You get good at moving the hindquarters, your horse coils. So you want to convince your horse that coiling and lifting the back is a good thing.